So, live from the rooftops here in my garden. This is my July update. I didn't do a June one for reasons that will become apparent. I actually couldn't get an allotment, so I rented a piece of land from the council and they delayed me. But in the meantime, I had ordered quite a lot of dahlias, so this is the garden really at the height of summer. It's quite late July really, but it's too small for all the dahlias I bought, so we're here on the garage roof. All the dahlias potted up, just organised into colours really. So we've got the reds, these over here are yellow and orange. Down the edge there we've got dinner plates, and then these are all the dahlia tubers that I bought from Costco and Wilkinson's. They really were the best. B&Q ones, not too bad. The Telegraph ones, which actually come from J Parker's anyway, not too bad. I did order over 1,000 from J Parker's in the end, so here we are on the roof. And the reason they're on the roof is because when we look down at the ground, they're all the way down the driveway as well. Now, quite a good vantage point up here really. So you can see that bed is tidier, but not particularly any more developed. But we've got some action going on in the flower beds to the rear. And let's go down and take a look. There's no health and safety here. So there we are. So this has been tidied up. Everywhere is dahlias. There's my ladder. Dahlias, and we come down to the lawn. No longer a muddy lawn, quite a dry lawn. So that needs to be aerated. That'll be another little project. Looking rather tidy over here. I pruned these roses back hard. They've really been flowering throughout June. Back near the kitchen. These Montbretia were dug up and then dug in deeper so that it would be more self-supporting. So right there, some sneaky red dahlias. They're Arnhems. Same sort of thing down there. That really wants developing really. And to the rear beds. So dahlias in there, but they do have to be manually watered because this lot here tends to block out the rain. And there's the rear bed. I was going to remove that plant leaning over at an angle. That's past its best, but you get the idea that there's some proper Crocosmia or Crocosmia. The tame version of Montbretia. They're always quite good. The red roses, got my ice plant, and then interspersed is purple, pink and white, I think, dahlias, and then the same colours in lilies and glads. So when they come through, they'll take over from the flowers which are already in bloom. The roses in this garden were here when we moved in. They're really quite good. The line of conifers hasn't quite covered the boat yet, but it's promising to do it any month. Up at the garage, main eyesore there really is that ladder, but I'll either let the dahlias die or I'll take the law into my own hands. So onto the, oh, this is worth a quick mention. So to extend the flower beds that I had available for the dahlias, I dug up a red hot poker. I split it down the middle with a spade. Not a very surgical manoeuvre, and they're seeming to do rather well. This path needs to be replaced, but I have started lining the edges with lavender, which is what I always intended to do. My arch is very wobbly, and my climbing roses, there they are. So what about my dahlia farm? She's got this lot down here, that's a mixed variety of Karmas, the Dutch variety, which is good for cut flowers. Down here I've got Cafe au Lait, I've got Arabian Nights. This row here where you can see the red daisy style with the yellow centre, that whole row there is from seeds, so they're a cross of whatever I had in the garden last year. I'm quite pleased with them because although they're not exactly dramatic flowers, they are something which might not exist somewhere else, so they're a bit special. This bank down here, these all tend to be the dahlias which I hadn't labelled, and I didn't know what they were. They were either from cuttings or they're from new plants that I had last year, which I just boxed them up in a hurry without a label on them. I therefore thought they're not very important, and they do tend to be the dwarf varieties, and so they were the ones which I grew on earlier on in the year. I started them off in February and I stuck them out in the garden in May. The reason for that was I didn't mind risking them, but now it means that in the centre of the garden I have got quite a large body of dwarf and middle of the range type dahlias, whereas some of the better ones are on the garage roof. Down here, this row of reds, I think it's called Garden Wonder, that was from Wilkinson's. I just can't recommend them highly enough. Everything that I bought from Wilkinson's cost £1 and far outweighed anything from B&Q, many of the garden centres, even J Parker's. The stuff that you get looks as if it's dead when you receive it, and you can nurture it into life, but these things just explode. The whites are from dahlias that I had last year. Down the end there, the big orange dinner plate is Colour Spectacle, that's orange with white tips. I got that from an eBay trader called Bulb One, which is Garthwaite Nurseries up north somewhere, and they're absolutely great. If I can remember, I'll stick a link on the end of the on the video page. These down here again, I can't read the labels from here and I can't remember what they are, but they're all bought in this year. They're all staked up and ready to go because they're big enough now that they're beginning to fall over. Down here, these were bought in this year. Same with those, I'm pretty sure. Then down here, from here on in, all the dahlias there are the Karma variety. So I've got Karma Chop, Karma Fuchiana, Karma this, that and the other. I won't know until they open because I bought them as a mixed lot, so I was probably hitting about 60p a tuber with those, which has got to be a bargain in anybody's book. Same with those. Wilkinson's Wilco were hitting about £1 to £1.50 for a tuber. You can get bargains from B&Q, but you really need to check what you're getting in the bag. Give them a little bit of a weigh. Down here, Slug Carnage. I have put pellets down, but it just makes me so guilty when I see a dead frog and I know that he's eaten poison slugs courtesy of me protecting my dahlias. But they'll come back anyway. And we should start seeing some action. There's probably about a third of them are hitting just over a foot tall. The others are just coming along slowly. It's still early days. I mean, this is the end of July. Last year I didn't have any dahlias in flower at this time. I was really going into August, but because I started so many off in the house, I've got them in the ground and flowering probably for about the last few weeks. So let's take a quick look at my surpluses. Now, here's a strange thing. So I bought over 1,000 tubers from J Parker's wholesale section, but that didn't stop me taking cuttings and starting plants off from seed. I don't know why I thought I really needed any more, but there they all are. I'll be potting them on. It's amazing what percentage of cuttings and seeds do take. And there we are, that's another bunch of Karmas. I bought 600 of those. And what I was doing to keep them alive, I was putting them all into these black trays and then potting them on. And I've just learned now, today, that I've got my piece of land. And so I'll be taking these down and planting them in the soil. These, incidentally, from eBay, these are my Chinese dahlias. In Britain we call them French marigolds, but sure enough, the packet arrived from China, my eBay purchase, and they were supposed to be the closest you can get to blue dahlias, which they're not really. Now this lot here, they're dahlias from cuttings. They've all got roots. They're all sort of slowly getting pot bound, but it's still a dark art to me. I still feel really proud if I ever manage to get cuttings to take. And then I've probably got about another 40-50 plants to pot up, and then we're home and dry. Down here, this was all wisteria, so we've got some calla lilies, the ubiquitous Montbretia. Ubiquitous means it's everywhere. I didn't know that until very recently, so I'll be using that word a few times. And that's the back garden in July 2015. Let's end with a shot of one of my begonias.